Hello, everybody out there in the world. I am the homie No Cash, No Cash, No Cash. Yep, the one and only. If there's another, he's the phony because you already know me.
House of Healing LLC is back in the building with special guest, the homie No Cash, and we got the House of Healing family on the panel discussing our spiritual journeys, the lifestyle changes that we've made, and the lessons that we've learned along the way. Check it out.
Peace, love, light, and protection and unity to the House of Healing family. We back at it again with the brother No Cash. She has ordered the essential blended tea. Right? It's a powerhouse blend of Cascara Sagrada, dandelion root, milk thistle seed, prickly ash bark, elderberry, yellow dock, burdock root, hydrangea root, slippery elm in the bark, and it provides minerals to every organ in the body. Organ in the body. So the hydrangea root is like a puller. It's a bark that's going to pull the yeast, fungus, mold, candida, and parasites out the body. Same thing with slippery elm in the bark. It's good for the nervous system, the gut, and any bad bacteria in your body. Dandelion root and milk thistle seed is designed to cleanse the kidneys. We know the kidneys is where the ancestors pass the information through. So we have to constantly keep the kidneys clean because right above the kidneys is the adrenal glands. So we got to keep them kidneys clean. We got some, like I said, milk thistle seed, elderberry. That's a good antioxidant. That's gonna oxygenate and protect the cells. We got yellow dot. That's good for any type of infections. It's good for any type of viral loads or parasitics. It's also a good blood cleanser, right? So we got a lot of good herbs up in here, a lot of good blood cleansing herbs, and Cascara Sagrada is that deal because it cleanses that gut. So our goal is to cleanse the gut, mucosa membrane, the lymphatic system, and pretty much focus on all the organs in the body. That's why we made this essential glandular kit. Without further ado, here's your brother No Cash. No Cash. No Cash.
What I'm doing is we're making some tea, but before we get to the tea, Israel wanted me to share a little bit with y'all about my testimony. Um, I decided to change my lifestyle, 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 not just my eating habit, my lifestyle. And I was consulting with Israel, and he was basically informing me on ways and things and ways of how to do it. And so he gave me a lot of different things to do that I would spare y'all the details on. But one of the main things was changing the way that I eat. And so we decided that I would go and buy me a juicer. And I got the Kuvings juicer right here. And then I got me a Ninja. And then after spending the money on that stuff, I had to go and get my fruit. And so what I did was I started to change the way that I was eating drastically, right? And I didn't even really pay attention to it. I stopped eating meat, all meats. I was only eating chicken occasionally and fish occasionally, and I was more something like a pescatarian. But when I met him, he said that I needed to get all of the meat out of there. And so I thought it would be a hard thing for me to do because, much like a lot of other people, I was addicted to eating meat, meaning the chicken and the fish. My mind told me I needed to have something of meat on my plate. And so I made sure I did. But once I started to juice and do smoothies, I do a juicing from in the morning from like 6 to 12. Nothing hits my stomach, but either my juices or something like that or some fresh water. And then after 12, between 12 and 3 in noonday is when I would take in my biggest meal, if I had a bigger meal. But for the first 3 weeks, I didn't even do a big meal. I did just a smoothie. And then if I wanted to do another smoothie right before 6 o'clock, I did. And then I don't have anything else after 6. And so eating that way for about 2.5, 3 weeks, I didn't have the money. I used to indulge in marijuana a lot my whole life. Ever since I was 14 years old, uh, I was introduced to marijuana and I loved it. I like the psychedelics about it. I like the feeling that it gave me, the high, and I could escape reality. To me, that's what the benefits was. And so I did that at least about 26, 27 years of my life. And my mind kept telling me, you know, and my uncle, before he passed, he said, man, why don't you go ahead and get off that weed and use your voice to go where you need to go? He said, man, you can do great things. Don't be like me. He was a very good singer. And I just couldn't drop the weed. And so fast forward, when I changed my eating habits, I couldn't smoke weed for 3 weeks. I didn't quit. I just didn't have the money because I had to spend $500 on my Kuvings juicer. I spent $100 on my Ninja, and then I had to spend $200 and something on groceries. So that was roughly right at $1,000 that I really didn't even have like that, but I did it. I made the sacrifice. So I didn't have money, extra money for marijuana. And finally, when 3 weeks went by after me eating the way that I was eating, I got a phone call from one of my guys who had some good stuff. So he said, look, he hit me with a text. I mean, he was like, yo, what you doing? I said, boy, you got that thing? He said, come through. So I jumped in the car. I went to the store. I got 2 packs of Dutch Masters with the 3 in them, and I pulled up on him. He was smiling and happy. He said, put this gram in there. Let's roll it up. He don't even smoke blunts, but he was like, I'm going to smoke this one with you. As I smoked the blunt, it was good weed, and it had me good and high. But I was so high to the point that I felt dumbfounded. I felt like I wasn't in my right mind. I felt like this wasn't going with the natural order of the new lifestyle that I had just implemented 3 weeks ago. And it was a decision that I didn't consciously make and say, well, you know, I'm just going to quit smoking weed. But subconsciously, my mind, body, and soul was like, that ain't really what you want right there. This ain't what you want. So as we finished the blunt, I looked at my guy. I was like, I know I came over here to test your stuff, to get something from you, man. I was like, and it's real good. I said, if anybody looking, I'll put them on to you. I was like, but I don't want to get that, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm done with this. I'm quitting. And I gave him the blunts that I bought. I said, here, you can have these. And that day, I didn't smoke any more weed. And it's been like 2 months now. And so I shared that story because Israel was letting me know with the lifestyle change, that's what happens. You know, you don't want to be doing a lot of things that would defile the body along with what I'm doing. So as I changed my lifestyle with that, I began to get other things like sea moss pills, and I got me some what's the name of the pills that I got for my upper respiratory? But anyway, I was getting little herbs
Mullen.
Other places. Then I reached out to him. He was like, yo, I'm gonna send you a package, a free package. And he sent me these essential herbs right here in the mail. And I received them about a week ago, but I didn't have anything to ball them in because he told me he didn't want us to use the nickel pots, which I did have, but we needed to use the glass pots. And so I just ordered one, and it came back like day before yesterday. Yesterday I was out of town doing karaoke and working over in Baltimore, so I didn't have time to do it. And so I made my business this morning to reach out to him and get him to assist me on getting the herbs in me now. So now I'm adding herbals to the game, and this is my first day, granted, but I look forward to really improving what I'm doing and getting better at it. So I'll take let them, explain how we're going to get this thing going.
Absolutely.
What I did was, the only thing I did, y'all, was put the pot.
You got it, Aloha. You got it.
It's a glass pot. I want y'all to get all glass if y'all get one, but I got one with the nickel in the middle. And he said I shouldn't have did it, but it's okay. We're going to use what we got. And then he sent me the essential herbs. And all I did was take 2 spoons out of the herbs, and I put it in here. And so now you can take over Israel from there. We can't hear you. Yes, we can't hear you.
Okay, so now we're gonna place the infuser inside of the pot.
Okay.
Yeah, just pick it up. Yep, and place it right on in that pot. Now, yep, perfect. So now that he got it in the pot, we're gonna let it boil. You don't gotta worry about the top yet. Go ahead and let it boil.
Okay.
You don't gotta worry about the top. Take the top off. Take the top off. There you go. So now that this is boiling, I want y'all to realize that herbs is for the healing of the nation. But we know that the Most High is the Word, right? And He gives us messages, because you know an angel means a messenger, and we're here to deliver messages to all the people in the world to show them that healing is real. Remember, the fruits restore the body, The antioxidants is in the berries that's going to oxygenate and protect the cells. The melons is a phytonutrient that's going to energize the cells, and then the herb is going to heal the cells. It's a process how we're doing this when we're talking about RNA and DNA, right? We're mixing the phosphorus with the iodine. Phosphorus just means sugar, right? Iodine means salt. So phosphorus is what you get from your fruit sugar. It has nothing to do with sucrose, maltose, or dextrose sugar. These are all sugars they ban from Singapore because it weakens your vision, your nervous system, and your pancreas. Now we know your pancreas produces insulin. Insulin is a salt, and your pancreas is a control of your hormones, right? And if it affects your nervous system, that's it. In there we have the hypothalamus gland, the pituitary gland, and the pineal gland. The hypothalamus gland is a control of your emotions and it governs 12 endocrine systems. Your pituitary gland produces zinc, copper, and gold, which feeds the rest of the organs in your body, right? And then your pineal gland produces serotonin and melatonin. This is your awakening, your sleep patterns. So we have to keep everything balanced and in check. And with this herbal blend, you see that the water already turned brown. So we're gonna let this boil just for like a minute or two, and then we're gonna turn the stove off, and we're gonna show you how crisp and beautiful it looks. So he's gonna try to look for like a maybe like a glass cup. Always make sure y'all put y'all stuff in glass cups, and then we're gonna see what this tea tastes like when it's done. Now, a lot of y'all might be asking, what can I
With my
add to
pot,
the tea?
send me little glass cups like these with
Perfect,
my pot.
perfect. That's perfect. Now y'all might be asking, what can I add to the tea to make it, sweeter because it's gonna be bitter. The point is, we want y'all to drink it plain. Now the reason why is because this is an
Oh, okay.
essential herbal this is an essential herbal um um bitter tea. The more bitter, the more better. Because guess what? Parasites hate that bitter stuff. But if you want to add any type of sweetener, but again, we recommend you drink it plain. But if you want to add sweetener, he's gonna pull out something for y'all and explain it to y'all. What we got?
We got Manuka honey here. This is the best honey that you can get. I wish the unraveler was up and she could break it down a little more about. Matter of fact, you can tell them Israel about the other.
Absolutely.
What's the other thing instead the other
I,
the
I
factor?
always look for UMF factor 60. Let me know if I'm right in the comments on Ravi. Hey, put the top on there. You can put the top on now. And cut my back. Take the teapot off and put it on another stove. Put it on another part of the stove so it can stop boiling. Just place it on another part of the stove, and then you cut the stove off. There you go. And then you're gonna let that steep for a little bit. Let that chill for a little bit. All right. So you want to get a UMF factor of well here's a 16. His is a UMF factor of 16, but you really want to get the UMF factor that's higher. Now remember, we can also use this for diabetes patients that has the womb. You can apply it to that. You get a gauze and you apply the manuka honey on the gauze, and then you can put that on top of the womb when you're dealing with diabetes patient, any type of womb, and you will see that they will heal. All right. If y'all want any instructions on how to follow that through, y'all can set up consultations with me if you have anybody that's suffering from diabetes, cancer, full blown AIDS, schizophrenia, even if they brain dead. Hit me up at capital YIZZ Real on my Instagram. All right. Or you can sign up for a consultation at www.houseohealing.com. And make sure y'all check out the YouTube channel. Go subscribe. It's House O Healing LLC. All right. So here we have it again. The tea is going to be steeping. And I want to give a recap on Brother No Cash. Brilliant brother, great singer, great influential person. He's a great role model to the children. He's out here putting in work. For the past month, he's been going hard with juicing, right? Laying off of the meat, quitting smoking weed. Y'all got to realize how powerful this is, because usually it takes people months and months and months to quit smoking weed. Now, a lot of people might be asking, so what? Doesn't weed come from the earth? Why can't he smoke weed? Well, when we look at our brain, we have something called dopamines. You already have a thyrohydrocannabinoid in your brain, and what you call THC. So when you smoke, you're literally killing like brain cells. Plus, when you get high, what type of foods do you go to eat? Ask yourself this question: when you get high, what kind of foods are our people eating? Why, as a so-called black community, Hispanic and Native American, the highest in every disease known to man, or every illness, dis-ease. We're the highest because after we get high, we crave for sugary stuff, for meaty stuff, and this meat is uric acid. The milk is lactic acid. The beans is carbonic acid. So of course we can get lentil beans or garbanzo beans, and you want to move towards the sprouts like alfalfa sprout, clover sprout, and radish sprout. But all these other beans like Like kidney beans is not good for your kidneys. The black beans is not good for you. The white beans is not good for you. We got to get more towards alfalfa sprout, clover sprouts, rather get into the sprout family. All right. So when it comes to, again, our tea, we got to realize that this comes from a tree. The tree is called the tree of life. We have the tree of life and we have the tree of knowledge and good and evil. We decided to serve the God or the Yah or the Yahweh of living. The Yahweh of living is in the Garden of Eden. He's everywhere on earth. The Yahweh of living is in these trees. He's the trees. He's the air. He's the universe, the innerverse, the outerverse. Yahweh is the great power of all. That's why when you say hallelujah, you say all praise to Yah, all praise to the Most High. All right. You want to say something? No, Cash. Go ahead.
Hallelujah is the highest praise that you could give to God.
Yes, indeed. The highest praise you can give to the Most High. And we always give all credit to the Most High. The House of Healing is a universal team. So if you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, if you're a 5%er, if you're an Israelite, if you're a Nazarite, if you just getting into the truth and you want to learn a little bit more about spirituality and how we talk about crystals crystals is in the Bible. It's in Revelations. The kingdom of heaven is made out of the jasper stone, and it talks about 4 to 5 different crystals in the Bible, more than that. The prophets wore them, Yahweh wore them, right? And it talks about the 7 seals. It talks about the 7 temples, the 7 holy archangels. He created the earth in 6 days and rested on the 7. That 7 represents your inner body. That's why we have to defeat the inner me so we can see our inner body, right? 7 organs right under the central nervous system. Organ is an instrument dealing with energy. And the instrument is your vocal box, right? That's called the throat chakra or the throat temple or the throat vortex. Whatever word y'all want to use, whether if you're talking in Hinduism, you're talking Christian, or if you're an Israelite or Nazarite, and you found that when you read the Bible, it talks about the 7 seals or the 7 temples or the 7 churches. Remember, your body is your temple, and we have temples and we have churches under our central nervous system. So we got to line these things up, make them become one. All right. So now that our tea is steeping, we're going to let that steep for another minute. And no, Cash, you can go ahead and break down a little bit more about what you do and what made you wanted to come to Bigo? Like, what inspired you to come to Bigo?
Well, I'm a YouTuber. I got over 230,000 subscribers and over 300 million views of my own, but it's possibly over about 1 billion with other people sharing my videos. I did that as a homeless man that was just using my voice to inspire many. You know, when I was in prison, I did a 5-year bid in 2008. They let me out in 2012. And when I was in there, a wise man took me to a Bible verse that I didn't know what I was going to do when I got out of prison, because I lost my grandmother and my grandfather while I was away, and they raised me. And so for a short while in prison, when it was time for me to get out, I was contemplating doing something to stay in prison because I didn't know, how I would function when I got out. And a lot of the guys in prison, they were just motivating me and encouraging me, saying, hey, man, you be back here all the time singing and getting on our nerves and using your voice. Why don't you get out there and use your voice? And then a wise man pointed me to the Bible and showed me a verse that says, your gift shall open up doors and place you before great men. And when I read that, it ministered to my spirit. It ministered to my mind, my heart, my soul. And so it gave me the courage to say, okay, when I get out of here, I'm going to lean upon my gift. I know that one of my gifts is my vocals. God blessed me with a voice to sing. So, fast forward, I quickly found myself when I got out in a homeless situation. Well, when I say homeless, I don't mean on the side of the road begging and bumming. I just mean I didn't have a home. And so being homeless don't make you hopeless or helpless. I still began to see the bright side of things. And I ran into this guy who said, I didn't know anything about YouTube, social media, digital real estate, or any of that. But he said he believed in my voice. He heard me singing inside of Wendy's, right, for one of the managers. And the manager gave me a big bag of food. I took the food and got me some out, and I gave the rest of it outside to the homeless people. He came out to me and was like, yo, man, you got a beautiful voice. He said, I shoot videos for a lot of rappers and a lot of artists. He said, and I shoot videos for a lot of companies and make commercials. He said, but none of the stuff that I'm doing that I'm inspired to do. He said, these people ain't going nowhere. He said, man, with the kind of voice you got, you could change the world. I said, yeah, I heard that before. You know, I said, why ain't my life changed right now? He was like, it's because, man, you ain't letting people hear it. You ain't out there as much as you can be. I say, well, I don't have the support. He said, I'll support you. I said, how we gonna do that? He said, let me put my cameras on you. I can guarantee you it'll change your life. I said, yeah, I heard that before. He said, no, I'm serious. He said, I got a YouTube channel. At the time, his YouTube channel had nothing about 16,000 subscribers or maybe probably 20. And he was doing pretty good numbers with videos. The most views he had on a video was about 1 million. He said, if you let me put my cameras on you, I won't charge you nothing. He said, we'll just put the first 2 or 3 videos up on my channel. If everything take off pretty well, then what we'll do is I'll start you your own YouTube channel and I'll give it to you. He said, man, you can get paid and this could potentially change your life. I said, so you telling me you ain't gonna charge me nothing and all I gotta do is use my voice to let you record me? He said, that's what I'm telling you. So I believed in him because I thought back to what the Bible verse say, you know, your gift shall open up doors and place you before great men. So I was like, look, when do we start? We met up together. One day he came to visit me when I was I was at my mom's house for about a week or 2. And we sat and we talked about things about digital real estate and how to approach it. And, you know, he knew about it the most. So we came to when I got home from prison, I never weighed, before I went to prison, I never wore as far as no more than about 180 pounds at the highest. But when I went into prison, I was smoking weed and drinking a lot and partying in the nightlife a lot. So I was probably about 170 pounds. When I got in prison, I went to eating a lot of starch because in prison, sad to say, that's what they feed you. A lot of rice, a lot of macaroni, a lot of biscuits, you know, so you blow up pretty fast from eating all the yeast. And so I got all the way up until about 220, 215 pounds. So I came home like a little small fat boy. And I didn't like the chubby fat me. And so I didn't have much of a change of clothes because I was bigger than what I was when I went in. So I only had about like 7 change of clothes. And he was like, man, he's like, that's going to become a problem. He said, because people very nosy on YouTube. And if we begin to repeat your clothes, it will kind of make a mockery of you and it probably won't work in our favor. So I was like, dang, see, now we can't do it. He was like, no, that ain't the case. He said, let me think. He's also a director. And right now today, this same guy is quarantined and working on Tyler Perry Studios with Tyler Perry down there in Atlanta. But this happened later. So anyway, he came up with an idea. He said, I got it. He said, you say you're homeless, ain't you? I said, I don't say I'm homeless. I am homeless. I said, homeless is just not having your own home. And I believe in, you know, facing your adversities, not hiding behind things, right? So I wear that on my sleeve. Still to this day, I'm technically homeless, right? And so he was like, well, since you're homeless, we're going to get you a homeless outfit. And we're going to put you on something that you can put that on every time. And we're not worried about that outfit. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. That didn't sit well with my spirit at first. I was like, nah, man, I don't want to do that. He was like, trust me, bro. He said, it's just like acting. He said, like actors do. He brought this up. He was like, you remember Holly Berry? She played a crackhead in New Jack City. You think she wanted to do that? But did she embody that character and showed us that she could bring that character to life? I was like, okay, that makes sense. He was like, so man, he said, this is the exact words. He said, man, fuck what you got on. He said, with the type of talent you got, most of these artists that I shoot these videos for them, they got on Louis, Gucci, Prada. Some of them even have nice fancy cars in their videos, Lambos. He was like, but the videos don't get 300 views, man. He was like, I guarantee you, if we can just get started, I can show you that the world will love you. So I shared with him when I was in prison, after he's telling me all of this stuff. I used to have dreams, not just once or twice. It would happen to me off and on. After my grandmother passed, I would be inside of my dream looking down on what I thought was my own self with a sign on my neck that says, Will Sang, S-A-N-G, 4, the number 4, food. And he was like, what? You serious? I was like, yeah, man, I'm serious. I was like, I didn't know whether that mean I was going to be technically homeless out on the street or none of that. I said, but bro, I really did. He said, well, what we're going to do, we're going to find you that outfit I'm talking about, and we're going to make that sign. and then we're gonna get out here and go to work. So at this point, I'm like, what else am I gonna do? I had no other place to turn. I had felonies on my record. I'm a 5-time felon on my record. You know, it's hard for people that's just getting out of prison to, you know, get a start. Society don't want to give you a second chance. It's hard to get you can get a job at maybe say a McDonald's and all of that, but it's not even enough money to take care of yourself, let alone I have 5 kids that I had to take care of and help. So getting a job and all of that was kind of hard for me. And I had no other place to turn. So I just believed in this guy wholeheartedly. And one thing led to the next. He said, the first video we're going to shoot. I said, what? No, I asked him, I said, what is the first video we're going to shoot? He said, I want to do the same thing I saw you doing when I met you. I said, what was that? He said, you were singing for a lady inside of Wendy's and she gave you a big bag of food. I said, we want to go back to that Wendy's? I was like, nah, that'd be kind of late. He said, nah, I want to do it differently. He said, I want to take you to McDonald's down on Irving Street. He said, I'm going to drop you off outside. I'm going to go on the inside and I'm going to act like I'm ordering something. First, I was asking him, do we need to ask them for permission? He said, no, it's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. He was like, so, and if you ask them for permission, they can tell you no because they don't like the logos and stuff being on camera. He was like, but if I go in there and act like I'm ordering something, I'll give you a call on the phone, tell you to come on in, and you just start from there. He said, don't pay nobody else no attention. Don't care whether she give you the meal or not. If she say no or yes, just keep doing what you're doing and sing. He said, when you sing, I'm going to capture it. That was the first video we shot. Homeless man sings for a Big Mac in McDonald's, and that one got like a few million on it. But things began to take off so drastically and so fast with the videos. It was the fastest moving thing that he had on his channel, and it happened so quickly. He would call me at least 10 times a day, excited as the views would change by the hundreds of thousands. Hey man, you see we had 300,000. Hey man, you see we had 500,000. Hey man, we had 800,000. He was just so excited. So I'm like, I got excited because he was excited, but I was like, why is he so excited about this one little video? If that's so good, let's do many, many more. I was eager to let's do more, more, more. So we met up again, and he was like, how can we get more videos and more footage? He said, are you ashamed to sing in front of a lot of people? I was like, nah, man, I sung all my life. I said, that's what I do. He said, well, I'm going to take you down to Myrtle Beach on my dollar. You ain't got to have no money. He said, we're going to go to Myrtle Beach, and we're going to walk the strip. He said, I want you to do the same thing you did at McDonald's. You touch people, meet people, talk to people, sing to people. Just be yourself, man. He said, not only can you sing, I've noticed that you have a great personality. He said, you have a way with people. He said, so just go ahead and do you, and I'm going to record it, and we're just going to go and get some footage. So a lot of my footage on my channel came from that one trip to Myrtle Beach. We walked down the strip all the way down, and he just recorded all of the encounters that I had with people. He got back, edited up, but long story short, what happened was from that first video, Homeless Man Sings for a Big Mac inside of McDonald's, it got the attention of New York Times. And at the time, New York Times was reaching out to him on his YouTube channel in his message box. But he didn't know it was New York Times. And you know, like when you go viral, a lot of y'all may not know, you get a lot of emails, you get a lot of people reaching out to you, a lot of people wanting you to affiliate something, a lot of people scamming. Hold on. A lot of people are trying to scam. And then you get some good people too, but they're lost in the sauce. You don't know who's who. So the people was leaving him a message, and they was like, are you the homeless guy in the video? He was like, no, I'm not. So they began to ask, is that homeless guy in the video really homeless? Is that real? And he was like, yeah, why? And so they asked him so many questions, it was getting on his nerves. And he called me one day. He said, man, there's some people in my message box. They keep asking about you. And they asking whether you're homeless or not. And they're inquiring about stuff. He said, it's getting on my nerves. He said, what do you think I should do? I said, just give them my number. If they really want to know, give them my number. I'll talk to them. So he went back in there, left my number. He said, call this number. If you're trying to reach the homeless man in the video, call this number. They called me. I was in Charleston, South Carolina, at this place where this man had gave me a job. I don't even know how to do carpentry work, but I was painting for him, and I was trying to help. I was being a help. And no lie, it was getting on my nerves. I felt like I was in the wrong place. Felt like I was being stifled and being, stuck in this place when I was supposed to be in a studio or on a stage somewhere. And so at the time I was just about to break there, and I got the phone call. When they called me, I was sitting on the phone talking to the man. I still didn't know he was from New York Times, but as I'm talking to him, I can hear in the background like that, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? What is that noise? And he was just talking to me, kept talking, asking me questions. The only thing that I lied to him about was my age. Everything else was the absolute truth. Didn't know it, but as soon as we got off of the phone, he was a editor for New York Times, and he went and printed this article immediately. Now, how I found out about the article was because when he printed the article on me using the video that a piece of the video that Spike had put up, World Star Hip Hop saw that article, and then they did an article and posted me up on World Star Hip Hop. I had nothing to do with this. I didn't even know about World Star Hip Hop that much like that. I used to see it sometimes. I didn't know what you do to get on it. And so now I'm doing all these Wazuzu numbers and didn't know what was going on. And I found out somebody called me and said, hey, man, you on World Star Hip Hop. I said, get out of here, man. Stop playing with me. Y'all stop playing. So they say, go look. I ain't playing. I'm not playing. I went and looked, and I was on World Star Hip Hop. When you go and watch, pull your name up from the Google search engine or from wherever you're looking, you can see a whole lot of other things that's going on around your name. And that's when I saw the article. And how I noticed that it was what I said to the man, because it was word for word, verbatim, what I was giving, the information that I had given to the guy. His name is Joel, by the way. He don't work for New York Times anymore. And since things has transpired in my life, I reached out to him last year. But long story short, things took off. And a lot of my videos, though, that I got most of my views on, I got a John Legend video up where I sung John Legend. It got like 34 million views, if I'm not mistaken, or at least close to that. And all of the money and all of the proceeds went to the person who wrote the John Legend song. At the time I was doing what I was doing, I didn't know that YouTube was basically robbing me for my views. They was paying the people that wrote the song. I wasn't using their music. I wasn't using nothing in the video except for my vocals. But because I didn't write the song, the IP went to the person who wrote the song. So a lot of people ask the question, why are you still homeless when you got all these views? It's because I didn't get paid properly. And so, needless to say about that, life went on. My gift, it landed me all over the world. I done went to California, Texas. I lived in Texas for a while with some people, Florida, New York, Chicago. I went all over the world, and then it landed me back home. And I'm like, wow, okay, what do I do now? And so somebody was telling me along about Bigo, you know, my barber. He said, there's this app, man. He said, these people be on there doing all this foolishness. He was like, boy, with your personality and your gift, he said, I know you can do great on this app. He said, people get paid on it too. Now, I hate apps. I'm not a social media guy. I'm an old school head. I'm from the street. I really don't like to be caught on the phone and stuff like that and doing all this stuff. But because YouTube was a thing that ushered in this new change for me, I began to get into certain apps like Instagram. I like to take pictures, so I had kind of like Instagram. You ain't got to be working that too tough. And then the other things like TikTok came along. People was like, I still don't like TikTok. I'm not gonna get TikTok. But the person was like, hey man, this Bigo app can really, people making some big money on there. I was like, okay, you know, one day, it took me a year though. I didn't listen to my barber when he first told me. But this dude named Nature Boy was going viral on YouTube at the same time I was going viral. And he took a liking to what I had going on. He used to be in my message box on YouTube. He used to come to my lives. He even cash out me money to interact with some of the things that I had going on my YouTube channel. So one day he said to me, hey man, you need to come to this app, this new app I'm on called Bigo, man. I'm making good money over here. He said, how much money on Bigo on YouTube paying you right now? And at the time it was about like $1,100 a month. And he was like, oh man, that's crumbs, that's peons, man. He said, try 3,000, 4,000. He said, last month I made $5,000 on this app. So I needed the money, and I'm on some stuff like, what do I do? He said, just set the app up, man, and come on over. I still didn't listen to him. So fast forward, my cousin had me in Virginia. He let me come stay with him because he's a musician. He played the piano, he make beats, he has a studio in his house, and he was like, he just now started discovering me viral. And we never knew that we was cousins our whole life, but we found out later on in life. So he started taking up time with me. He said, man, this is what family's supposed to do. Let's make up for lost time. So I'm at his house chilling while he also cuts hair. So he would leave like 7 o'clock in the morning and he don't come back until 7 o'clock in the evening. So I would be at the house by myself. I don't know how to work the computer. I don't know how to work nothing, the equipment or anything. So I would just be sitting around doing nothing until he come home or smoking weed, wasting time. So I was sitting in there one day and something said, go download the Bigo app to your phone. And what really made me do it was because on YouTube, right, I don't know how to edit videos. I don't know how to work a computer. So my channel was suffering because of that. Because the YouTube guy that started my channel, he started it and helped me for about 7 months. And then he had to go off to school to Atlanta. And then from school in Atlanta, he went to work in New York. And from work in New York, he went back to Atlanta to work with Tyler Perry. All of that happened in like a 4-year time span. So he couldn't help me. My channel was suffering, but you know, still growing because naturally I was just a viral sensation. And so make a long story short, I started to utilize YouTube from the live standpoint because I like the fact that all I have to do is just push the button and go live. I don't have to edit the videos and I can interact with my people. And that became fun to me. I started coming up with innovative ways to interact with my people. I came up with this little segment, what I would do, we call live stream jukebox with no cash. And what they would do is they would send me cash apps to play my own music and to perform my own music to let them see that I have my own music and I do have content. So that was fun. And I was making a little money doing that, just a little. We was having more fun though. And so Nature Boy came to one of those jukeboxes. He said, play my song. I'll send you $100 if you play my song. He sent me $100. I played the song. But it was just really to get my attention. He came up there. He said, man, I've been telling you about this app. Why you ain't came, bro? He said, YouTube. He said, Bigo is a live app. You over here going live. You have more fun. There's more people and everything. He said, you sitting over here on YouTube with nothing but about 200 people in your live. He said, I guarantee you, you come to Bigo Live, you have a room full of people, man. So I still didn't listen. But when I got to Virginia, sitting there with hours and hours with nothing to do, something just told me, say, go try this live app. He said, you don't got to know how to edit. They say you ain't got to know how to do nothing, but just go live. And that's what really sparked my interest. So I downloaded the Bigo app, and I don't even know what to do on Bigo, but all y'all know the experience. When you first get on there, you can kind of swipe up and keep swiping, and you be seeing different people, or you can match. And when you match, different people is dropping in your face. And it's, look, the first day I download Bigo, I only been on it for about 30 minutes playing around looking, and lo and behold, Nature Boy drops in my face, and he was like, yo, you finally came over here, nigga, I'm glad you came. So he explained to me that you have to be a host and that you have to be a part of a agency. And all of this stuff was new to me because I never even, I never heard of such a thing. That's not how YouTube is. So I was like, an agency? How do I do that? He said, hold on, just wait. And because he was a part of one of the biggest agencies on the app, shouts out to the Keys to the Street, Nature Boy led me to Brandon. And Brandon was excited to make me a part of their agency. So that's what brought me to Bigo. And when I got on Bigo, man, and became a host, my first month, I made 1 million beans. Very close to 1 million beans, but it paid me like $6,000. Down to invest in yourself. Invest there. And I was like, how do you do that? It was like, put some of the money back there, should make it yourself. That's the best way to. And for the first 4 months on Bigo, I was until I got in a car accident in Atlanta. I used to take Bigo on the road with me. I was one of the first people on to get out of the house, sit around. I saw people around all the time in the house, in front of a wall, much like how Israel is right now. And I was like, yo, man, this can't be fun. I began to interact with my people and let them pour into me for me to travel and do things with them on live. So they would pay for me to go to Charlotte, North Carolina. I'd get in my car, they'd send me a tank of gas or 2 tanks of gas. And I'd get in my car, I'd go to Charlotte, North Carolina. Somebody in the audience booked me a room and said, we got your room. And it was just fun and exciting. So one time they got me to go to Atlanta. and I got in a car accident. I broke my back, ruptured my spleen, collapsed, broke my tongue in 3 pieces. It was hanging out of my mouth, and I broke my nose. And so I began to not be fun anymore on Bigo. I wasn't the fun, exciting, going around guy. I'm sick, broken back. So I lost a lot of the momentum on Bigo, and began to start thinking about my life at this point. This was last year. And I was like, yo, man, I need to change some things. But a lot of the things that I was doing was strongholds on my life, including the weed. I didn't want to quit smoking weed because I thought weed was a bad thing, or it is even bad for me. But I felt like it was in the way of me being my greatest self. Smoke ain't good for your vocals. And with me doing all of that for so many years, I began to have a changed mind, but it was hard for me to implement that change in my life. So I would be telling people all the time, quit smoking weed, man. Quit smoking weed. I would even, and it got so bad and stuff. Say, hey man, don't tell us that no more. Make you look like you ain't gonna do what you say you're gonna do. Just do it. Don't say that. So I was like, okay, I stopped saying it. So fast forward, meeting you here on Bigo, I heard you talking about all types of stuff, and your name really stuck out to me, Israel Yahuda. I see all them Yahs in your name, and when I was in prison, right, the very first time I ever wrote a song in this style or in this way, I was in a dream, and I even remember the dream, but I remember words in my head. All the words to the song was in my dream, and if it was so vivid, y'all. I can remember my dreams to tell people, but I never can remember them like how I did this. I jump up out my sleep 4 o'clock in the morning and I grab a piece of paper, and I never even wrote a song this fast. I was just writing what I saw in my head on the paper. Some of the words I didn't even know the name. I didn't know what the word meant. I just was writing what I saw. And the name of the song is called Yahweh. And I seen all them Yahs in your name, and I was like, who is this dude, Israel Yahuda, talking about Yah? I bet you he knows something about Yahweh, right? So that's why I used to sit in your room, and instead of you talking about Yahweh a whole lot, you was talking about way of life and how we need to do things better. You was talking about the correct ways to eat, the correct ways to do a lot of things. And I was like, oh, this dude right here, he got a lot of attributes that I would love to have. I stuck around you. And that's how I actually got to know you and got to see what you're about. And the main thing that stuck out to me about you, everybody else on Bigo is running chasing beans. I saw everybody on Bigo, with negative vibrations, waking it up on people with OT, roasting people, which ain't so bad, when you're roasting people, because that's a cracking game that everybody like to do. We grow up doing that. But when I saw people was on here calling CPS on people's kids, calling the police on people, sending the police to people's house, calling your employer on your job, trying to get you. I was like, yo, this is some crazy app. Oh my God. But you was on here doing the opposite. You was on here telling people, don't send me no beans. I don't need no beans. Send the beans to this one up here. They're a host. And you spend more time on this app than a lot of people who make money. But I noticed that it wasn't about the money for you. It wasn't about the beans for you. It was just about you really wanted to see your people in a better position. And I came up with this mantra that I've been saying this now for about 3 years straight. I designed it and wrote it myself. And I feel like you are blue dot alignment sent to me from God. God is the original blue dot. God is the blue source to me. And blue dot alignment are people who are aligned with God. And they do what God tells them to do, whether it's for a dollar amount or not. And I came up with this. Well, no, I didn't come up with it. One of my partners that is thinks just like me, he got this game he made up called Bears and Bubbles. He came up with the blue dot alignment concept. But I've always had this thought in my mind of yielding to the people that want to do righteousness, the work of righteousness because of God. So anyway, I came up with this mantra, and it says, everything that I ever wanted will be given to me. I have the best life, health, wealth, success. I'm prosperous in all of my endeavors. I am building an empire to leave behind a legacy to take care of my family, immediate and extended, for generations and generations and generations and generations to come. My cup will runneth over, and the overflow shall be for the homeless, the underprivileged youth, and the people on my peripheral that's helping me to push forward toward productivity and progression, knowing that these things is coming to fruition for me. For my mother, father, Lord, God, source assured me that if I stay aligned with it, it will send me other alignment with the resources to help me manifest my heart's desires with a righteous intent. Kum faya kum, kum faya kum, kum faya kum. And that means be, and so it is. Well, then, so you must be the change that you wish to see. Hallelujah. In the holy name of the Most High Yahweh, peace and love. Every time I see my 444s, my 333s, my 222s, my 111s, my master numbers, 1111, 2222, any number synchronism that I would see, because I was in touch with numerology. I got introduced to that when my grandmother passed, because I always said when she passed, she's my angel. Now I got an angel watching over me. Well, in prison, I was introduced to angel numbers by a book that I was reading. And I was like thinking it was play stuff, or like, you know how people say don't believe in that type of stuff. But I dove into it and I began to think, well, wow, this book is kind of telling me that it's true. My grandmother really is my angel. You know, she really is someone that's watching over me. But I found that it ain't just her. The ancestors is watching over me as well. There's a whole fleet of angels. And the way that you can get in tune with them is through, you know, synchronicity and numbers, numerology. So I was introduced to that, and that's why the number 4 is my number, singing for food. 444 I was introduced to before Jay-Z even dropped the album. And so I came up with this affirmation, because every time I see my numbers, or every time, I don't care whether it's on a license plate, on a sign, I'm forced to in this manner, I still do to this day. Well, I feel like you are that blue dot alignment, Israel. And I was basically thinking of making that because I was thinking about finances. I was thinking about helping my people with money. But when in that mantra, when I says, I'm trying to leave a legacy behind for my family, immediate and extended, for generations and generations and generations to come, that ain't money. Because money don't help nobody for so much. Money is the least that people can do for you. I think it's more of this lifestyle change that you're implementing in my life, and to know the correct way to live your life so that you can live long, prosperous life on this earth. And I think that's the best thing that you can give to your family. So I'm going to just close by saying that answers a lot of your questions and give you, you know, more of insight of where I came from and why I wanted to do this life change, because I felt like I needed to do it, but I didn't know how. And so when I met you, you really like took up time with me. You first, you kind of like gave me props. You know, you was like, man, I saw your videos, man. I saw you. You was like really a fan for real. And I was like, dog, how can this dude that is so, you know, bright in his own mind, on his own path, got his life together, giving me all these accolades? And, you know, you was different from anybody on the app. And so I don't go to people's rooms, because on Bigo app, if y'all look, I got over 200,000 fans on here. But I don't care nothing about that anymore. I kind of wanted a more meaningful path to go down. And I just didn't know how to do it, because everybody is so negative vibrational, even in the world, on Bigo. And so I was like, yo, this guy right here is different. And now it led me to just, you know, listening to you. I talk to you and reach out to you every time I call you. You answer the phone. I can call you for my family members. You my family. You charge for anything now. The dimes coming because I'm putting together some money, some herbs from you. But my name No Cash came because of that, right? First it was No Cash, because before I went to prison I was Saga Cash, and I was chasing the glamour and the bright lights, the money, and all this type of stuff. You know, I was a drug dealer. I made plenty of money, but the Bible tells me wealth gained little by little saves, but all dishonest money dwindle away. And I done made hundreds of thousands of dollars on the streets, possibly even $1 million. But today I don't have nothing to show for it. So that Bible verse really, you know, showed itself to be truth in my life. And so when I ran into you, bro, it was like, this guy know the way for me to implement in my life a change. I didn't know how or what, but I began to listen to you and get in touch with you. And everything you kind of like suggest to do, whether I delve into it wholeheartedly, I just did a little bit here, a little bit there. And lo and behold, bro, it grabbed me. And I just jumped in one day. I was like, yo, bump that. I'm gonna stop smoking weed. I'm gonna just stop smoking the weed for a minute because I was spending like $50 every 2 days on a ball of weed. And I would religiously get my ball of weed. Nothing would get in the way of my ball of weed. If it was me, if it was food or weed, I'm gonna get the weed, and I'll let the weed help me figure out how I'm gonna get the food. So it was like, I felt like that was me letting the weed and other substances, they call them controlled substances too. And I felt like I was allowing the substances to control me. And anything that controls you more than your own mind, you are a slave to it. And I ain't no slave to nothing. But I couldn't get rid of the stronghold of me smoking weed because I relied on it. I depended on it. And just like most other people with things that you're addicted to, some people are addicted to spending money. Some people are addicted to food. Some people are addicted to different things, but mine just happened to be weed. And so when I met you, bro, I felt like you knew the way to help me break some of these strongholds. The name of that song that I wrote was called Yahweh. And that song, I didn't know it, but at the time, I sung it to preachers in the prison. I sung it to inmate preachers, and I sung it to the chaplain. I sung it to some of the female officers. Everybody I sung this song to brought tears to their eyes and stuff. And it was like, they say, boy, you special. And I'm asking them questions like, what does this mean? What does that mean? I said this in the song. What does this mean? And they breaking it down. It was like, boy, that song had to come from God. But that's why I connected with you, because your name, Yisrael Yahuda, let me know that you was connected to God and you knew it because you gave yourself that name. Or I don't know whether you gave yourself that name, but you go by the name. So Saga Cash, to me, when I went to prison, saga means, y'all heard the word saga when you're watching movies. At the end of the movie, it'll tell you the saga continues. Well, saga means a colorful and adventurous journey. So I named myself Saga when I was early on in life, and it meant I was on a colorful and adventurous journey to get the cash. My name was Saga Cash. So I went to prison and lost all of the money, lost everything and got out. I had no money, but I had this talent. And I would come to the guys who still had money, who were still hustling. They wanted to be rappers and, wanted to be entertainers, but they didn't have the talent that I had. And I was the kind of person that I would be willing to help anybody. So I was like, yo, y'all, let's get together. I can help y'all. I can sing y'all hooks. I can write some things for y'all, and we can blow up. Y'all got the money already. Bro, they looked at me like I had nothing to offer because I didn't have money. They was like, you think we gonna give you our money? You think we gonna spend our money on you, nigga? You need to get out here and hustle and get your own money up. Then we can do something. So I'm looking at them. I'm like, yo, that's dumb. Y'all already doing it. Y'all already got the money. Why can't we work together? It wouldn't work. They began to think that their money was more than my gift or my talent. And that didn't sit well with me. It kind of like made me a bit angry and disappointed. So what I did was, that's what made me listen to Spike Fee when he told me, let's do the homeless thing. Because I said, yo, you know what? Without a dollar, I know I got a voice. Without nothing, I know I can sing. So let me just see what my voice can do for me. And no lie, yo, I didn't know nothing about YouTube. These guys at the time, YouTube algorithms that hadn't changed yet. So if y'all remember this, you could buy views. You can make your videos look better than what they're supposed to look back then. So they was buying like hundreds of thousands of views on their video. It was fake views and nobody knew it, but we was all giving them props like, yeah, man, you got a lot of videos on your views on your video. When I began to go viral, it was in the millions, and I wasn't buying no views because I ain't had no money. And that showed them like, whoa, look what this dude doing. And then I go back to them and they want to work with me now. But I didn't want to work with them because I was too busy trying to do what I was doing. And so make a long story short, when I named myself, it was KnowCa because I had none. And I didn't believe that you needed any. You just needed to believe in yourself and rely on your gift, and it will make room for you. And that's what happened. So later on, I was meeting celebrities and stuff. And when I would tell them that my name is the broke homie No Cash, it didn't sit well with them. It will rattle people the wrong way, like No Cash. No, Busta Rhymes is on my YouTube channel telling me you got to change that name, man. We got to change that name. And so I shared with him on that video because God was giving me insight about Moses. And about Solomon. And the knowledge that I knew about Solomon is he was the wisest man in his days. And I was wondering why he was so wise. And it was because God gave him the opportunity to ask for anything that he wanted. And he asked God for the materials in life. He asked God for knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge and wisdom is a K for knowledge and a W for wisdom. Well, when I put that K on the front of the no and that W on the end of the no, it still said no, but it means a whole different meaning. So Busta Rhymes was telling me I needed to change my name, and with tears in my eyes, I told him, I said, yeah, man. I said, it's no cash right now, N-O cash. I said, but in the very near future, I'm going to change that name to K-N-O-W because I know how to get it. And he was like, no, that's my type of talk. Now, that's my type of talk. But that came from knowing the knowledge and wisdom that God gave to Solomon. And I wanted the same thing. Solomon. So I wanted those same things. And now the no cash name that I got now means, the cash in my name now means current, not currency. Greater is the current that is within you than the currency that runs this world. And everybody that's in business and chasing a dollar, they can't seem to put righteousness in its right place because they put money over everything. They'll tell you that quick. MOE, money over everything. We had this acronym back when I was growing up. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill. We all putting dollars before our own well-being. And I wanted to stop that. And so that's where you came in at, Israel. I want to stop talking now. I think I said enough. I only did it for video's sake. And I don't really even go this deep into my life and my stories. But, you know, I knew I didn't want to go back to prison, bro. Prison is no place for me. Prison is no place for nobody unless you feel that you are a jailbird. Cages are for birds. And I'm no bird. And even birds don't supposed to be in a cage because they got wings. And I wanted to spread mine. So the recidivism rate for our race is very high. When brothers get out of prison, it's a known fact that they go right back if they don't do something about it. And most of us don't do anything about it. Well, when I came home, I made sure that one thing I wasn't going to do is sell drugs ever again in my life. Because I knew drugs is what landed me where I was at. And let alone even deeper than the selling drugs, my own selfish desires landed me where I was. When I desire money more than anything, I would do anything to get it. And some of us, most of us out here, if we tell the truth, we all found ourselves in places where we'll do anything for some money. Well, I don't like that because then money, you become a slave to the money. And so all of these things led me to where I'm at today. And when you was implementing things in my life that I needed to not just read and talk about, but I needed to implement and apply instead of just listening to you and letting it fall on deaf ears, I began to apply bits and pieces here and there. And not just because of you saying it, but the things that transpired in my life after me being obedient to some stuff you were saying made me feel like a million bucks. And so I kept doing what you were saying, and I kept in touch with you, and I aggravate you. I want you to tell them now how much I aggravate you. Like, it might not be aggravation to you, but please be truthful with them and tell them how we became to get this close like this right here. And I want you to talk. I'm done.
Absolutely. Hallelujah. Great words of wisdom from the brother No Cash. So I told No Cash in the beginning, you can call me anytime you want. I'm always gonna be available for you. You know, I got a career in the business, but if I'm available, I got you. And No Cash been calling me. He be asking for advice, dealing with the tea, how to make the herbs, how to make the astringent fruits, the phytonutrients, and the antioxidant fruits. So we put all this together, and my goal was just to hear the benefits and the solutions that he did. He told me that he's stopping quitting smoking. He told me that he slowed down on meat. He said that his voice got better. He said he's having more bowel movements. He said he's feeling less inflammation-y, or what you would call mucusy. So the inflammation is damn near gone. He's saying his gut is cleansing. He got his CBC blood chart. The CBC blood chart is looking good. So everything seems to regulate itself because he decided to let his body be his temple and his church be his temple, right? The body is a temple, y'all. It's a church, right? When two or three are gathered, there I am in the midst. And the body tells you that we are literally in the church, which is our body. So my name, right? While he's making this tea, he's going to put the tea in the cup. And we're going to see how this tastes like. My name is Yisrael Yahuda. Remember how he broke down his name? So Yisrael means Israel, which means Prince of the Power with Yah, or Prince of the Power with God. Yisrael is a northern kingdom of Israel. Yahuda is Judah, which is means jewels or Jew or what you would call Shemitic or Shem. And Jew is the tribe, or Judah is the tribe that Jesus or Yahushua came from. Yahushua means he shall save, he shall deliver. So I got two. I got the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. On my father's side, he is Seminole Indian, and those would be from the tribe of Reuben. I'm sure y'all familiar with the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuben, and the 12 tribes of Israel in the Bible. So that's how I got my name, and then I leveled up to be a Nazarite. Nazarite meaning that you're plant-based and you are a chosen healer amongst the Israelite nation. Beautiful bloodline, chosen seed. That's why I call myself a star seed Nazarite, or the chosen, or a light worker, or an empath. Because my goal is to, before I'm in that casket, is to leave behind a legacy of being a healer, of being a restorer, of being putting all my gifts in a bucket and let my light so shine before man so they can see my good works so that I could be glorified by the Father which is in heaven. We coming with agriculture. We coming with electromagnetism. We coming with healing. We coming with herbs. We coming with cooking. I'm a chef. All that we coming with fitness. If you need help with working out, losing weight, gaining weight, the proper meals, hit me up at capital YIZZ Real. If you got any type of dis-ease, y'all know where to hit me up at www.houseohealing.com, and the YouTube channel is House O Healing. All right. So are you warming this up a little bit more? No cash? Is it got a little cold or something? Yep, houseohealing.com. Make sure y'all share the live.
And what I'm gonna do, I'm waking the tea up like the
Are you warming it up a little
you
bit?
gonna wake up.
Okay, so we get rid of.
You wake up. This is how you
Okay,
really
perfect.
wake tea up. Real good tea right
All
here.
right, he gonna wake it up. We about to wake it up,
Going
y'all. So he gonna
right
warm it
with it
up a
one
little
time.
bit. Perfect. He gonna warm it up a little bit. We're gonna make this tea. He's gonna drink it. He gonna let us know what it tastes like without the manuka honey, and then we can add some manuka honey and some Ceylon cinnamon to it. And if you got some key lime, you can add some key lime to it. So I'm giving y'all what y'all can add to it.
Oh no,
You can put key, yeah, you can put key lime in the tea. You can put manuka honey in the tea. You can put Ceylon
you're
cinnamon
lying.
in the tea. All right. Remember, Ceylon cinnamon has a lot of good benefits. Are you breaking up? No cash.
Hold
If you're
on.
talking, you breaking up.
I said, hold on. I'm trying to get right. I'm trying to get it right. Am I back?
All
Mic
right.
check. 1 2
Yeah,
1
you
2.
good. Perfect. 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 You good.
All right.
All right. Let's see how this thing tastes. Tell us how it tastes.
Mm, it's real bitter.
Hey, they hit different, don't it?
Good. Woo! It hit more different than the ginger shot. It nasty
Absolutely.
too. Good
Yep.
God.
Now this is the essential glandular tea, meaning that it's an all-purpose tea. It cleanses the nervous system, the organs, the lymphatic system, the blood, the skin. This is an all-purpose tea, y'all. The essential glandular tea, off of the website.
Now let me ask you a question. How
Go
much
ahead.
of this? I can drink this whole cup now, but how much of it
Correct.
do I need? Two of these.
Correct. You could drink up to three. Just periodically throughout the day. So three, you could drink 3 cups a day in the rising, afternoon, and at night.
And this cup right here is just enough for a cup. It's a small little cup now.
Correct. That's perfect. And y'all listen, y'all can the same tea he got in the pot. You can let's say he drank the whole thing. You could put the spring water or distilled water back in the pot, and you can use it up to 3 times. So you can boil tea up to 3 times with the same herbs that he has in the pot. So make sure y'all don't throw away the herbs. It'll keep reboiling itself.
And all I put was initially 2 scoops of the herb inside of the pot.
Absolutely. And again, he can add key lime to this. He can add, these are our 4 sweeteners: blue agave, manuka honey, 100% maple syrup, and date syrup or date sugar. These is what he can add to this. All right, so he gonna cut it up, and we're
What
gonna
I what I it up.
just cut it up, and you're gonna squeeze it in there. That's all. Cut it up, take the seed out, and you're gonna squeeze it in the cup.
I bought all my accessories that I needed here, buddy.
All right, all right.
I ain't playing with this thing.
All right. See, he got the squeezer. He about to squeeze it on in there, y'all. So now we got some key lime. That's key lime, right? No cash. Oh, that's lemon.
Mm-hmm. Key lime.
All right, we still got key lime. So look, key lime is a super powerful astringent. It's going to detoxify and pull acids, dead cells, mucus, parasites, yeast, fungus, mold, and candida out of the body on an intercellular level. Key lime stands for Key West. It's the original lime, right? So lemon is a hybrid that comes from the key lime. Now we got some
Hey,
dates. Dates is really good for your libido. Dates is good for your vision. Dates is good for your cardiovascular system. Date is really good when you eat it. It's good for your skin.
so what do I do with the date for this?
You can just eat that.
Oh, what did you say? The
Oh, I,
lime and
I, I meant, I meant date because they have something called date sugar and date syrup. You got the actual date. So, but if you had the date sugar or date syrup, you can pour it in there. But you can just eat that. So now he's eating the date and he's drinking his tea, y'all. A date with the tea. That's what we're doing.
matter of fact,
Now
let me get
you
a little
you can
bit.
add if you want, you can add manuka honey to it. You can throw a drop of Ceylon cinnamon in it. So pretty much, y'all, he could drink the whole thing of tea throughout the day, periodically throughout the day. And then when he's done with the whole thing of tea, he can make it up to 3 times with the same herbs in it. Go ahead.
It tastes much better with the key lime in it.
Perfect. There you
And
go. So
a
that
little bit
citrusy taste.
of-
Absolutely.
It's better on the palate.
All right. All right. So okay, cool. So we got the tea made. I'm gonna bring some people up. We got brother God body. God body's in the building. What's on your mind, brother? Peace, peace.
Yo, what's up? Hey, what's the guy's no? What's that? Got Cash?
No cash. Yeah. What's going on?
Hey, yo, Cash, man. I just want to tell you, man, that the way you articulate your growth, I appreciate that, man. And I see a lot of people. I won't say I see a lot of people, but I've been on the journey with a lot of people that has experienced. You know what I'm saying? The same type of growth that you experience, and is able to articulate. You know what I'm saying? Their growth. Yeah, and I just want to tell you, man, that a lot of people don't describe, setting free of themselves from the vices that they have. You know what I'm saying? From the basis of the stronghold, and not just making a decision that they want to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I do appreciate you, on your screen. You know what I'm saying? Lifting the brother up with your words. You know what I'm saying? And lifting yourself up with words. And I just want to take the time to edify you. You know what I'm saying? To let you know that the more that you keep speaking and the more that you keep talking the way that you do, that'll help a whole lot of people. You know what I'm saying? On their journey in the direction where you have been and where you're going. That's an encouragement for other people. You know what I'm saying? Because some people are starting out on their journey and they don't realize that some of the things that they encounter that makes the things hard for them a little bit is supposed to happen like that. And when guys like you come along and you sharing your testimony, you sharing, your walk, it allows them to be like, well, damn, I was experiencing the same thing. And at that point, I was ready to like turn around and give up. But then when they heard you speak, they was like, well, damn, okay. If damn, I was going through what they was going through and they made it. So, okay. Now I'm identifying within myself that I do have the inner strength to carry on, and I hope that you keep carrying on where you're going, you know what I mean? And be encouraged, you know what I'm saying? And understand that nothing's in vain. And I really appreciate being up here and the way that you explain it, the way you talked about it. You know what I'm saying? Israel, you know what I'm saying? This word was for him. But, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted you to understand that, bro, you have your time when you're gonna get edified because we love you and we like what you do. I do some things, but this is not about me. You know what I'm saying? So and then you went to prison. You know what I'm saying? And bruh, listen, just keep up the good work and say, just you're doing beautiful, man. You're doing a beautiful job. And I just want
Thank
to
you,
take the
God
time to
body.
say that.
Thank you, God
Yeah,
body.
hey,
To my brother, and
and and
I just
one
want
more
to add to.
thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, one more thing. I want you to understand that is Israel. He talked about the Nazarite vow. Okay, and there's a lot more information behind that than just what he was speaking about. He knows that information. You know what I'm saying? Every dread on your head, every dread on your head has a meaning of something that shows your journey. Every lock. And this is what I hope that a lot of our brothers that put dreads in their hair stand up for the right thing, do the right thing, because it's our freedom from the way that this world is set up to work against us. It's our freedom. And I want you to understand, bro, that your freedom, it shines through your dreads. Not everybody energy shines through their dreads. I mean, the dreads have their energy and all that stuff. But when a person's in their heart, and they're coming from their heart, and they're coming from an honest and authentic, original perspective, it lights up your dreads. So those dreads, those locks, mean more than just your nervous system. They mean more than just the connection to the universe. You understand? And I want you to understand that. I see that. I see that. I see it. I see it. I see it. And I want you to understand, bro, keep going because your dreadlocks, bro, your dreadlocks have a spiritual message. It has a spiritual story that when the right eyes look at you and they see you and your dreads connected together, it tells them a story about who you are spiritually. So that's it. I just want you to understand, bro. Just keep it up. There's more about you. There's more to you than what a lot of people see and what you see. So after I'm done. I'm done because I'm done. I'm done because if I keep going, but go ahead.
Appreciate the love, God body.
Brother. I appreciate you, and I got a few things I want to say to you. I thank you for those encouraging words, those inspiring words. We don't do that enough for one another as black men. We'll shoot each other down all day long, but we don't know how to uplift one another. And more of that needs to go on. I aspire to teach that to the youth. And I want to just kind of correct you on two things, and you know it already, but I'm gonna just shed some light on it so that you can implement it in your life. I heard you kept saying dreads, and then you kept saying locks, because you know that it's locks. But I'm gonna tell you where dreads came from. We don't really supposed to call them dread. Dreads came from our oppressor. When they see us with our hair like this, to them it looked like a dreadful thing. And in the past time, it was dreadful locks. It's just throughout time they dropped the full, and we took on the name of dreadlocks. Well, I don't take that name. I call them locks, because even the Bible speaks of the locks on our heads. And so, excuse me, I get exactly what you're saying and what you was conveying to me, and I appreciate you for it. Another word you was using, you said hope. My grandmama used to tell me something about hope. She said, son, hope floats. She said, if you hope in one hand and shit in the other one, which one's gonna get the fullest? I was like, ooh, you have a handful of shit. And so when you say you hope, I appreciate that. I know that's coming from a good place, but more so what I'm doing is I'm striving for perfection, and I'm really striving to get it right. And when you're striving instead of trying, you don't stop until you get it done. When you try to do something, you leave room for failure. But when you're striving for something, you just don't stop until you get it right. And I want to say to you, I am on this path not for form or fashion. Israel can tell you, right? I don't even really be wanting to talk about it much right now, but I'm talking today because he pushes me and put his hand in my back and say, hey man, I want people to hear your testimony and things of that nature. So I get up here and I feel like if that's all he wants from me and that's all he wants in return, then I'll be obedient and give him that. So yeah, man, I'm on this journey and it's not gonna stop because I feel good. I'm getting the greatest return. You know what ROI mean? That's a return on investment. And it's not a currency return. I'm getting the greatest ROI in my life than I've ever gotten in my life. I'm treating myself the best that I've ever treated myself. And so that inspires me alone to keep me doing what I'm doing. But I appreciate your kind and encouraging words, my brother. And it's definitely not falling on deaf ears.
Hey, and to like piggyback on what you said, yes. Sometimes when I be talking at the last moment, my words don't always come out correctly because I actually instruct people about hope. That I say that the handful of shit and a handful of hope. Just the handful of shit would be worth more than a handful of hope. And so, sometimes I do that. Is when I'm talking, I use words to speak and say things that I know that it's like not the way it's supposed to be, but sometimes I'll be like ready to say what I gotta say, and I'm preoccupied doing something, and I start talking, the old way. So yes, I'm with you on that, and you're right.
I understood
you're
you.
right. You're right. You're very right about the word hope, and you're very right about dreadlocks or locks. You're very right. So I just want you to understand that sometimes me, my mental, my brain, my mind, I'm gonna have to think of something that can help me with my memory energy in my brain, so I can recall exactly what I want to recall at the time that I need it. But I'm there with you, and I stand in agreement with you.
For sure, brother, and I appreciate you, man. I think I'm following you already, but if not, I'm about to follow you. I'm following nothing but good energy, man, because you are the things that you and not just like they say you are what you eat. You are the things that you entertain. And I'm learning here lately over the past few months that you can't heal from the place where you was hurt at. So you have to replant yourself around fertile soil, around people that is willing to help you cultivate and micromanage your life. Because I don't care how wise you are, how rich you are, and who you can't do nothing by yourself. We all need each other. It takes a village. And that's one of the reasons why I yield to the brother Yisrael Yahuda. He's younger than me. And that don't mean nothing. I tell people a lot of times it's better to build stronger youth than it is to repair broken men. Because a lot of men that are old dogs and set in their ways, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. But when you get with the youth and you shed light on them and you cultivate them and you love on them from a real genuine, righteous perspective, you will get something from the youth that will surprise you. And here it is. He's not such a youth under me, but he's younger than me. This young brother has made a tremendous change in me, in my mind, in my life, and in my family's life. Anybody who apply some of the knowledge and the things that this guy is sharing, you too can make a difference in your life. So I just want to give him his flowers while he's alive. And anything that he want me to do with this mouth of mine, that's the least I can do. So I appreciate you, Yisrael Yahuda, and you can come up now and you can talk a little bit, brother.
Absolutely.
Hey, wait a minute. I got a question. One more question. I'm sorry. He brought you in, and I'm like, one more question, brother. A lot of people are stuck right where you just said. And if you could give an example or two to help almost 300 people in this room to clear it up a little bit more, when you say that you cannot heal from the place where you were hurt, can you clarify that a little more with the people that's really resonating with you and really getting something from what you're saying? Can you like clarify that and bring that more out. So, because a lot of people that I've interacted with are stumbling at that very word that you shared. Can you go into that, please?
Most certainly I
And
can, my brother. And I will.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm about to mute my mic so I don't have to say nothing else.
Now it's okay. You don't have to. I like you, brother, and I think you are either my peer or either my elder. And I like the way that you articulate yourself and how smooth you are with the way that you convey what you're asking and the things that you're saying, man. And I can learn a lot from you. But what I was basically striving to convey to the people is that, I got my cousin Alf in the room with me, right? And he has a story of his own, and I'll let him tell that. But we have been connecting back together since the past 16 years. He was away from me on a tenure. And now that we're connecting back, before he went in, he's like my father figure, not just my cousin. He's a man that taught me a lot of the qualities of life. He taught me how my family is my family. It's my duty as a father to lead and guide my family. He taught me how to, that the bills in the home, whether it's whether the house is in my girlfriend's name or my significant other's name, those are my bills as a man. And at first, that a lot of these things didn't sit well with my mind because I didn't understand. And but he was implementing these qualities in me as a young man because he's a stand-up man. And so here lately, when we're back connected now, and he's been around me, or we've been talking and talking for like the last 3 months, he's finding out things about me that I still need to work on. We both are finding these things out. And I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, since we being real. A lot of these things are pertaining to my own mother, right? And I'm not here to bash women or either bash my mother because I love my mama, right? I love any child. The greatest love that you can feel on this earth is not from parents to the children. The greatest love that you will ever experience on this earth is from children to their parents. Kids have no choice. We come out the womb loving on mama. We come out the womb with a suck. And nobody really knows why we're sucking, but we're sucking because we're looking for the nurturing from mama. Sometimes we get pacified, sometimes we get formulas, but that's not what we're sucking for. We're sucking for the nourishment from mother. And all my life, I've been looking for that from my mama, right? But my mama never raised me. My grandmother raised me. Y'all seen me giving reverence to my grandmother and my grandfather. And not to bash my mama, but sometimes we have to deal with the truth about matters, right? And so I'm gonna get to the answer in your question. And I said all that just to say, I tried to heal from my home standpoint. I tried to be around my mom, and because I'm a man and I feel like it's my duty to get it right with my mama, right? But bro, that's where I was hurt at. And no matter how hard I tried, bro, to help her or to help my family around that situation, no matter what good I brought to the situation, it was never enough. People tend to see you as they once knew you, and they don't let you grow. They don't allow you to be the new you. The thing I tell people, I told my cousin, right, as we talk here lately, he's finding out things about me that he didn't know. I told him that if a person don't talk to me in the past 90 days, you don't know me, because my life is ever evolving. I'm ever changing, and I'm changing for the better. Whether you see it or not, whether you believe it or not, or whether you know it or not, I'm on a journey. And so I've learned that even I'm just now putting my hands on this. We know that hurt people, and misery loves company. So if you're around a lot of hurt people, I don't care whether they're your blood related family or not, because blood don't make you family. Blood only make you related. You have family out here that don't even have your blood, and I like to call them kindred spirits. And what Yisrael Yahuda is to me is a kindred spirit of mine. He's like my real brother, man. He deal with me a lot better than my blood related family members. And so I say that to say, you have what you call immediate family, and you have extended family. But family is not like identified by who has your blood. It's identified by who get down in the trenches with you and help you cultivate and micromanage your life to get out of the ruts that we're in. And needless to say, sad to say, a lot of the people that we're familiar with that has our blood don't understand that. And a lot of them are hurt. And if you don't remove yourself from that environment so that you can receive better light, better instructions, and better ways to implement a new in your life, it's almost like a flower that's in a bad place. If you get that flower and dig it up from the root and take it to fertile soil and replant it, that flower or that tree will flourish. And so I'm just saying that to say a lot of the places that we're hurt at, be it family or not, you can't heal from where you're hurt at. And that's really what I was basically trying to say. I was not putting y'all in my business at first when I said it, but to let y'all see that my life aligns with what I'm saying, because I tried so hard before this day to quit smoking weed, and I never could. I tried so hard to change my eating habits. One time I wanted to stop eating meat. This guy named Ralph Smart on YouTube, shouts out to Ralph Smart. He has this little saying. He say, "Infinite waters diving deep once again, everybody." And then he'll say, 7-day vegan challenge. I challenge you to eat some grapes. And he'll pick up a bunch of grapes and put them in his mouth. And he'll say, or a handful of strawberries. And he'll eat the strawberries. And I looked at this guy and I'm like, yo, this dude is so positive. He got billions of views on YouTube. He don't talk no trash to nobody. He just put out a bunch of positive and righteous energy. And so one day, just watching him say 7-day vegan challenge, I tried the 7-day vegan challenge. And it made me feel so good till I kept going for 14 days. Then I went for 21 days. And when I got closer to the month, being in that hurt environment that I was in, I began to think those unhealthy thoughts. Man, I need me some meat on my plate. Boy, I need something to eat more than this. And then I'll see myself going back to chicken here and there. Or then I'll eat fish. So I changed it from vegan challenge to I became a pescatarian, right? And I felt that was a whole lot better than where I was, eating all kind of meat that I was eating. Now I only eat fish. Well, then I only ate fish and chicken. But then in my mind, I wanted to do away with the fish and the chicken, but I was still in the hurt place. And even in the hurt place, a lot of the habits, a lot of the way of life is still the same. So if I'm at my mother's house staying there and I need something to eat and I don't have anything, I got to eat what she's cooking. If she's cooking chicken, then I'm going to enjoy that chicken, even though I know I don't need the chicken. And so all of this just implements reason for us to move ourselves from where we're at. If you're not getting the nourishment, the guidance, the instructions or the help there, you got to remove yourself into a place where you can get it. And so I came here to Maryland. I didn't come here to change my life. I didn't come here to do what Israel is telling me to do. I actually came here on a money mission because I had a job opportunity. I had a way to get my finances right, so I thought, right? And now I'm here. I've been working, striving to work. I've never been a worker. I worked for myself all my life. I sold drugs all my life. I only had like 2 jobs, and they came after I got out of prison in 2012. So when I got here, it was all about the money and all about trying to make some money. But when I got here, bro, every dollar that I'm making, I'm investing it in my life to change my life. And not only the dollars that I'm making, I'm spending my credit card. I'm charging credit cards up, but it's for the greater good. And so had I not been planted in this dark place, I'm here a lot alone by myself. I'm just alone, but I'm not sad and I'm not lonely. It gives me time to myself to work on me and do the things that I probably never would have done had I been around a lot of other people with their influences and what they think. And so I'm just a living example of you can't heal from the place where you're hurt at. And then I'm also a living example of when I remove myself from the place of hurt, even though I'm here by myself alone. Sometimes people think when we're by ourselves and we're alone that we're buried, right? And if you're buried, that's one thing. But I feel like I'm planted. The difference between being buried and planted, one is the beginning and one is the end. When you're buried, that's the end. But me, I came here by myself alone and I'm dealing with myself doing the shadow work because I'm planted. And then I know one day I will sprout up and I'll grow. And I have grown in over the past month and a half, just implementing the things that I've learned from Israel Yahuda here, my young brother. And a lot of times what people problem be is we profess we we possess the art of speaking and preaching what we've read. And like if we read the Bible, we can quote the scripture back to you. Or if we read intellectual books, we can tell people what we read, and that's good. That's okay. But if you want to be great, you have to learn to apply what you are learning and what you're reading. Because people like to say the knowledge is the key, but it's not. It's the application of knowledge that is the key that unlocks these strongholds and things that are transpiring in our lives. And sometimes when we're in these hurt places, we're being fed information that sounds good. It kind of feels good, just like the weed at one time. It felt good. It served the purpose for me to temporarily escape reality. But after I come down off the high, I'm right back on square one, and I'm right back on down to earth. And I got to deal with all the things that I was trying to strive to sweep under the rug and overlook. And we all know what happens if you keep sweeping stuff under the rug, you're going to have a bigger mess to deal with later. And so when I met Yahuda here and I got in this quiet place by myself, I felt like I was ready to do that shadow work. I wanted to get up under that rug and sweep out some of that mess that I like to sweep up under there and do some house cleaning. I want to sweep around my own front door before I try to sweep around others. So that's why I tell Yahuda, I don't want to come on and boast. I don't want to come on and talk even about what I'm doing, because this is my time of study. This is my time of acquiring what it is that I need, and I know that I need, and then I want to take the time to implement it and to apply it so that I can get some real tangible results. And that's what I've been getting for the past month and a half. So I hope I answered your question, brother.
Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. Hey, amazing build. We got the brother Godbody in the building. We got Mo in the building. She out shopping. We got the brother No Cash in the building. One of the amazing things that the brother mentioned, I'm going to bust some big screen real quick. One of the main amazing things that the brother mentioned, I want y'all to pay attention to what he said, was applying the information to your life. The scripture speaks on let your light so shine before man so you can see your good works, so you can be glorified by the Father which is in heaven. So that's what we're doing right now. We're letting our light shine. We are light workers. We're empath, Israelites, Nazarites. We are people of the chosen seed and star seeds of this galaxy, the universe, and other galaxies to come here to make this world a better place. So we're giving y'all a lot of great truth, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, because you need all of that to blow that breath in somebody else's nostrils. Just like the Most High blew the breath in Adam's nostrils, that represented truth, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and understanding. We need all these things to come back into fruition. King David was the youngest. If you read Psalms 119, 97 through 106, it tells you about King David being the youngest, but he knew more than the elders because he was keeping the precepts. The precept means commandments, right? In Psalms 119, verse 104, it says, through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. So for all the young brothers out there, I want you to put your mindset in the mindset of King David, right? He threw that rock in the middle of the forehead of Goliath. The middle represents that pineal. Some people call it the third eye, but it means the first eye, right? So when he threw that rock represented Zion. That rock represented the rock of Israel, the rock of Judah, us coming together, right? When he threw that slingshot, right, it knocked Goliath down to the ground. That's what we're going to do, just like how Simba defeated Scar in the movie Lion King. We're going to throw that rock at Scar because Scar is leaving scars on us. Chemtrails in the air, fluoride in the water, GMO foods, millions of deaths with this whole C-19 propaganda and this pandemic they got going on. So we are the rock, but we have to come together. But before we come together, grace is a period of time to get yourself right for the kingdom that's within you. So while we in grace, we got to get ourselves right, y'all. The time is now. We have to get ourselves right, because once you heal the mind, the body will follow. It's all controlled through the nervous system. Your environment is the key to healing. Every disease has an emotional component. It's either a bacteria that's going to affect the blood, or a virus that's going to affect the lymphatic system. We have to get these bad parasites out of us. We got to get rid of this bad bacteria. We have to increase the good bacteria so it can fight off viruses inside of our body, because we have 150 trillion cells in our body that we have to feed, that we have to nurture. So let's go back to Mother Nature with the fruits, berries, seeds, vegetables, and plants and the seeds. Let's go back and let's get this thing right. Remember, I told you that grace is a period of time to get yourself right? That's what the brother No Cash did. While he was in grace, he got himself right. That's what the brother Godbody did. While he was in grace, he got himself right. That's what the sister Mo did. While she was in grace, she got herself right. Y'all see the herb on our name? That represents healing. That represents restoring. That represents rebuilding. All right. So we are ready. We are ready to get it in. We are ready for this biochemical warfare, for this spiritual warfare, for this physical warfare, because we know that we have 5 different bodies: metaphysical body, physical body, spiritual body, emotional body, and astral projecting body. We have to line all these bodies up and get familiar with everybody. The brother just said he was doing shadow work. Remember Jeremiah or Jeremiah, his name means Yah will exalt. Exalt means to be lifted. He said, I walked through the valley of the shadow of death. Get it? Shadow worker. Because he had the light within him, and he let his light shine. So while he's in that shadow, no evil or no evilness can come in between him. Even when he feel like he about to go off on somebody, if they said something very detrimental or very hurtful, what does it tell you? Give your mind a chance to produce a good thought before your tongue speaks evil. So your tongue will always be righteousness. Your tongue will always be full of joy, full of happiness. Your tongue inside of your throat chakra or your throat temple could be full of music and gifts and so much beautifulness to the whole world. So we're here to provide solutions that can get our people out of the condition we in today, with social conditioning, with financial literacy. We're going to give y'all agriculture. We're going to give y'all music. We're going to give you all the necessities and things y'all need. What's on your brother? What's on your mind, brother No Cash?
While you're talking, me and my cousin was talking about your name, because I let him hear the song that I wrote called Yahweh, and it really messed him up, right? And then I'm not gonna let y'all hear it today, sadly, because I don't want to put it out prematurely. But we was talking about your name, and we both was wondering. I know you broke down the Israel and all of that, but what does the Yah in your name represents?
So Yah represents God, which is short for Yahweh, which is the power, which is the Most High, the Creator. Now, I want to say one
Wow.
more thing. Now, Jeremiah, Obadiah. Notice how everybody had Yah in their name. And when the so-called slaves got off the slave ships, they had Yah in their name too. Right? It's a website called african.slavevoyage.org. We know where African came from. That's why we call ourselves Afrikaan, with a K, not with a C. But you will see that these so-called slaves, they had Yah in their name too. One of the very first churches, underneath one of the pews, they had letters written in Hebrew that said Hallelujah. Right? They was written in Hebrew. Oh, you working like a Hebrew slave. Okay, the reason why they said that, because they know who we are. They know where we come from. They know that we are the real original Hebrews. Hebrew means to cross over. We cross over we are celestial people. We cross over from the cosmos to come to earth to make it a better place. As above, so below. So we're here to make this world a better place. And we are the Israelites. We are the Nazarites. We are the Hebrews. We are the chosen empath light worker seed of just this generation, next generation, and more generations to come.
And to add to what you were saying, brother, you're absolutely right about all of the names having Yah in them, who are God's chosen people, even Jesus, right? That name is buffoonery, really. And I say it with all due respect, because if you look in the Spanish religion, the same name, Jesus, is not pronounced Jesus, it's pronounced Jesus. And if you go back into time, you will notice that there was no letter J even in the English alphabet. They replaced the Y with a J. And so Jesus' name was really Yahshua. And the thing is, if you know that there was no J that there was a Y. When they replaced the Y with the J, that's when they gave Jesus the name Jesus. And I think that was done to kind of fool us as well. But needless to say, I appreciate you breaking that down, man. And what I want to My bad, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, you
What I
good?
want
You
to do
good?
real fast, even though I'm not going to sing the Yahweh song for y'all, I want to do something for you, brother, because you like my voice and you always
Let's get it. Let's get it.
giving reverence to it. It's just not something to show off. I want you to take this with you, man, and let this message resonate in your mind, your body, and your spirit, and just continue to do what you already know what you need to do because you on a righteous path for righteousness, brother. And it's not about a dollar amount. It's not about how much boasting people could do for you or how much credit that people can give you. I have this thing that I like to tell people, right? I don't care whether you criticize me or whether you're giving me compliments. It really don't mean much to me per se. It just lets me know your perception and your perspective. If you're giving me compliments, I'll say thank you and I appreciate that. But if you're giving me criticism, I also say thank you and I appreciate that. But what you say about me don't dictate my life. Your perception about me is none of my business. But what I do want to say to you is keep letting your light shine, brother, because it takes nothing from us to ignite the light of others. It's just like a candle. It takes nothing from that one candle to light another candle. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, be doing.
We hope you picked up the jewels that Master Herbalist Yahuda Yisrael and the homie KnowCa dropped during the broadcast. They were definitely very valuable, my people. HOH LLC will continue moving forward with quality content and practical solutions to all of our health issues, whether they be mental, physical, spiritual, or emotional. And until next time, from the Healing Squad and the House of Healing, peace, love, life, and healing.